It is now time to experience the buzz, a podcast that takes an inside look at amazing people doing amazing things. Get ready for some great conversation that will be fascinating, educational, and inspiring. We will also leave room to help small businesses in a big way. Now, here's your host, entrepreneur Steve Buzzard.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in. It's another episode of Experience the Buzz. So glad you have decided to join us today. You know, I was reflecting on the fact that this has been such an incredible journey. We are on episode number 114, and the conversations that I have been able to have truly been priceless, and today is another one of those. Again, episode 114. Today we are featuring who will be the youngest person to come on the program. His name is Stevie Maita. He's 11 years old. You know what that means? He will graduate from high school in the year 2030. That's right. Well, this kid plays golf. He's got a coach. He's pretty darn good, and he is going to be playing in the U.S. Kids Golf World Championship in August for the second straight year. And guess where it's at? Pinehurst Golf Course in North Carolina. He's got an Instagram handle, and today is going to be a fun conversation. Really looking forward to it. More on Stevie in just a second. It's now time for What's the Buzz? So here's the deal. We've got three amazing sponsors. This show, it highlights small businesses, it highlights entrepreneurs and personalities of Sacramento. Sometimes we've gone outside of Sacramento, but 95% of the time we are talking about the people of the capital city. So what's beautiful is that, you know, we're 114 episodes in. We're the real deal. I was looking at some stats that, you know, the benchmark for being a real podcast, are you ready for this, is actually 10 episodes. Well, we're way beyond that. And I knew that when I jumped on board in January of 2021, that this was going to be a journey that I wasn't going to step off the tracks. And so we want to be able to highlight small businesses. We've got three amazing sponsors. You too can be a sponsor right here. All you have to do is go to buzzardball.com. Just click on how to be a sponsor. Everything is there. Everything's customizable. You can reach out to me personally at scbuzzard@gmail.com or just reach me through the website. Also want to let you know that Buzzard Ball, or I should say Experience the Buzz, is kind of an umbrella. So we have the audio form, we have the video form, and we would love for you to subscribe. All that does is it alerts you to brand new material that is coming out. In addition to what we do with Experience the Buzz, where we have the YouTube channel, and then of course everything on Apple, Spotify, you name it, is we have a segment called First Look. I'm a heavy metal enthusiast. It's been a lot of fun. We've recorded about 50 episodes. That is YouTube video only. You can check that out by going to our channel, and just all you have to do is Google is Experience the Buzz podcast or First Look, and it should be there for you. Check it out and become a subscriber today. Now, let's get to our guest. Again, it's a fun conversation. You'll hear about the connection between me and Stevie in just a moment as we get into this conversation. So without further ado, it's episode number 114 with Stevie Maita. Enjoy the conversation. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome in. It is Experience the Buzz. My name is Steve Buzzard, and I'm very excited to bring who is going to be, well, to this day, the youngest person to ever come on Experience the Buzz. His name is Stevie Maita. He is 11 years old, and this kid plays golf, okay? Now, I'm not talking about just going out to the local links, right? He does that, but this kid is on tour, and you would think, what, first, second year? No. He's been doing it for a couple of years. And so Stevie has agreed to come on what would be his very first podcast. Stevie, welcome to Experience the Buzz.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, of course. Now, we got to talk about our connection, right? I always like to start with our connection. So the reason I know Stevie is I was able to teach him at the school that we both were at, St. Michael's, here in Carmichael for a couple of years. And of course, I retired 2 years ago. And so that's where it all started. But, you know, Stevie, I just knew you as a kid, right? And things were fun and stuff. And then golf took place. And so I was telling you before I came on, I've always known you as a basketball player, which I know you still love. But tell me how the golf bug started for you.
Well, my grandpa used to take me out to the range, I'd say on Wednesdays after school, and I would just hit a couple balls, and then he would take me back home. And then we
Okay.
did that, I'd say, once or twice a week.
Nice. Okay, so you started with Grandpa, and let me ask you, I mean, was it something, obviously, outside of spending special time with Grandpa, did you find yourself enjoying it? Was it something you enjoyed doing? Because that's where I'm trying to figure out, where did you get not only the bug, but like you love golf. So where did that start for you?
Probably when me and my grandpa started to play a little bit more and sometimes got on the course instead of just the range.
Okay, very good. And so was it when you were 8 years old that you started playing, going from the range to actually playing, right? We all know as golfers. I just golfed yesterday, and Stevie, it was a disaster. The Ansel Hoffman just ate me up. You know about the Hoff. The Hoff is tough. I shot a 99, and I wasn't too happy and everything. But, when you went from the range to actually playing on the course, talk about that, because that's a big difference, right? Because when you're on the range, everything, you hit off the carpet, everything's good. But when you get on the course, it's a different story. And you did this at what, age 8?
Yes, but me and my grandpa didn't play much holes, but we did play a couple holes. Yeah, it's a big difference. There's a little more pressure on the course, and it's not like you're just hitting down to an open space. You got to go over water, bunkers. There's tight greens.
Man, look at you, even speaking the vernacular. I love it. So good. Okay, so this is the part where I'm like, okay, where did it then start going to like, wow, I'm actually pretty good at this, and maybe I'll start playing tournaments. When did that happen?
Well, my mom, I did a couple lessons at Ansel Hoffman, and then I started to get kind of good. We did some tournaments, and then I switched coaches, and then I got really good.
Okay. So you really dove in, right? This was something that, you had to be committed to, right? Because like you're all in, right? It's not just something very casual. You play on a tour, like you say, you've been doing it for a couple years. We're going to get more into like the places that you've been and everything, but you had to have the mindset to say, you know what, I want to do this. Is that what happened for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so when you start, winning, were you winning tournaments, or were you just, just playing in them, having fun and saying, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. I want to do this. Take me through that process.
Well, early in my tournaments, I wasn't winning them, but I was playing them. It was kind of fun, but golf isn't too fun sometimes. And then I started to get like maybe on the podium of third place.
Okay.
And then when I switched coaches, then I started to get a couple wins.
So the coach thing really helped. But talk about getting on the podium for the first time, right? You obviously had to stick to it. You said it was hard in the beginning, but once you hit the podium, right, it's like, oh, I can do this. So do you remember what that tournament was when you got to step on the podium for the very first time?
That was like 2 years ago. Well, I remember my first tournament, I got fourth place, but there was only like 5 or 6 kids in there. I think it might have been it was probably a course called Bing Maloney.
Okay, Bing Maloney. So see, these are all local. So that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about, Stevie, is like for you, growing in the love of the sport, everything started local, right? You were playing tournaments right here in Sacramento. That's how it began for you, correct?
Yes, I was playing local U.S. kids tournaments, all the courses around the Sacramento.
Okay, very good. And so, like within the courses, like, I know we'll kind of get to this later, but what are some of your favorite courses in the local area? I know you mentioned Ansel Hoffman, where you did some training. Obviously, everybody knows about Hagen Oaks. That's kind of our area that you and I live in. But what are some of your favorites in the local area?
I was the defending champ at Bing Maloney, and I won 2 times at Bing Maloney. I love Ansel Hoffman because it's one of my home courses.
Yes.
Hagen Oaks is pretty nice, and probably what's it called? Actually, that's probably all.
Okay, that's good. Those are great ones right there. You mentioned great ones. Yeah.
There's also Bartley Kavanaugh. That's
Bartley Kavanaugh.
definitely
yes.
one of my favorites.
Okay, cool. That's funny. You just raised your hand like we're in school. See, old habits don't die, man, right? So it's like we're teaching PE class here, right? Having some fun. So let's reset. This is 11-year-old Stevie Maita, and I brought him on because we're just chipping away at a kid that's been playing golf for 3 years, but he's playing like tournaments, okay? And there's a big tournament that's going to be coming up, and then actually he's already played in, and that was in Pinehurst, North Carolina. Now, I know that's going ahead and stuff, but boy, that had to be quite the experience, being able to play at Pinehurst, which obviously is a major golf course on the PGA Tour.
Yes, it's for the U.S. Kids World Championships.
Yeah.
And we get to go to Pinehurst every year. I've done it 2 times, and luckily I got qualified for this year's, and it is really fun. There's like free hotels. You can rent a house inside the neighborhood. The course there's like 7 or 8 different courses, and yeah, it's really cool.
That's cool. Okay, and that's just kind of a sneak peek because I don't want to jump to that yet because that's where Stevie is now. He actually just qualified again. That he's going to be going back to Pinehurst in August. You guys, 11-year-old kid is going to be going to Pinehurst to play golf. I mean, that's just good stuff. That's on my bucket list, right? I can't even make that happen. That's why I got to live vicariously through the young guy here. So as you're playing golf, what did you notice were the things that came easy for you, and what were the things that were difficult for you, right? We know that golf, you break it down, right? Hitting off the tee, being able to have, mid irons, short irons in, 100 yards in, and then obviously the short game with chipping and putting. So breaking that down, what things came a little bit easier to you, and what things were difficult for you?
When I first started playing golf, I was pretty good at chipping, and I could hit it a little bit solid. And then I got a little bit better, and now my drives is one of my best part of my game, and my chipping and my putting. Well, my putting is not. It's okay though.
It's okay, but you're always working on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. And so you mentioned changing coaches. So that's another commitment, right? Like you're not just going out and play the tournaments. You're having someone help you, which it seems like that would be the right thing to do if you're going to be serious about that. So I believe the change in coaching is the current coach that you have now, right? Would you like to talk about him?
Yes. I went from his name. It was someone at Ansel Hoffman.
Sure.
And then he wasn't. Then we didn't think he was. I wasn't getting too much better.
That's why we're not gonna mention his name.
We were, and then we were looking at people at Hagen Oaks, and we found this guy named Mike Duhamel, and he's my favorite coach ever. He's super nice, and he makes it really fun and super easy.
Okay, so what is it like? What is the process of when you work with him? What does that look like? How many times do you visit him a week? Take me through that.
Most of the time, I see him 2 times a week for an hour or an hour and 30, and sometimes we do. Sometimes this is really rare. We play holes together.
Okay. All right, very good. And what were some of the big improvements that you saw as he came on as a coach? You mentioned that he made it fun, which is hopefully similar to your PE experience with Mr. Buzzard, right? We made it fun, and that's what it's all about, right? Like you're grinding and you're playing this game and you're dedicated to this game, but as a kid, it's always got to be fun, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We would do little chipping contests, iron contests, driver contests. We would play little holes, whoever got the lowest score. We would do putting contests, lots of contests.
Nice. Okay, so local, you're playing tournaments. Are you still doing other things? Are you still playing basketball? I think you were still playing basketball at that time, right?
I'm playing not as much basketball.
Okay.
I'm more zoning in on golf. But I do have a basketball hoop in my neighborhood that I sometimes shoot hoops on.
Okay, very good. Okay, so your focus right now is golf. So get me to the point where now it goes from playing to tournaments in the local area to now making trips, right? Like you've flown some places. So when did that happen? Were you 9, 10 years old? When did that happen?
Probably around 10, because we went to Pinehurst. That was one of my first trips. And I've been a couple other places. Coming up, we're going to Europe.
Wow. Wow.
And we've been some short distance ones like San Diego, lots of San Diego, Orange counties. I've been to
I think I saw Texas. You've been to Texas?
yes, it was
Yep.
Texas, Washington, Seattle, Washington. Let's see here. I've been to Arizona,
Okay.
and I can't remember too many, but that's
Okay,
some-
well, that's good. I mean, that's a good start. So let's, we could take any one of these states. Take me through, let's say you're going to Texas, okay? When do you leave? Like, what does that work? Obviously, you're playing on the weekend and stuff. Take me through, like, the whole itinerary of what it would look like for Stevie Maita as he gets ready to go play a tournament in Texas.
Okay, we would probably first day I would have a lesson with my coach. We would fly down to Texas,
Okay?
then go to bed at the hotel, take a practice round on Friday, big practice round on Friday, and then play the next 2 days.
Okay, so it's a 2-day tournament for what you do.
Yeah, for the states
Oh.
and all that.
Okay, very good. So the practice round, that's pretty cool, right? Gives you an opportunity to see the course. How many notes do you take, right? We know that, like, on the PGA Tour, they have caddies, and they're taking, like, notes like crazy. Like, for you, as a 10-year-old or now an 11-year-old, what do you do within that practice round?
Me and my mom, we take some notes on the scorecard,
Okay,
and we take some notes like for tomorrow, like the green is quick or it's super downhill, the fairway goes right, fairway goes left, plays longer, plays shorter. There's a little secret water to the left or the right or just short of the green. A bunker right in the center of the fairway,
Yeah, I was going to say, like, how much research do you do? So even before you get to the practice round, do you look up the course online and maybe go over it just so you kind of have an idea? And then by the time you get to the practice round, you see things, you're like, oh, yeah, I remember this and I remember this. How much research do you do?
We'll look at the yardages for the tournament, and sometimes I'll go to the course's homepage and look at some pictures of the courses just so I know what I'm working with. And yeah, we look at yardages a lot.
Okay, all right, very good. And then you play the tournament, you play the 2-day tournament, right? And so, I mean, they have the leaderboard and all that good stuff. Like, what's that like? Because, I luckily was able to go to the Masters in 2010 to watch a local favorite here, Kevin Sutherland, and being able to see they have the leaderboard that you see like at 18 and everything. But for you, like, what's that like?
There isn't a leaderboard like on that big screen thing, but there is online. There's leaderboards, and there's at the table. There's leaderboards.
Okay. So do you always check? Are you one of those players where you just play your game?
I don't ask them what the best score is, but I do. The second I'm done, I always ask my mom.
Of course.
And on the course, I kind of look at the other players just to make sure no one's having like a 10 under round.
Right. So you can tell, right? You kind of tell with body language, like who's doing well and who's not doing well. So I have to ask, who's your caddy? Who caddies for you?
Most of the times it went from grandpa to mom to grandpa to mom. Mostly it's mom is the better one. But
Okay, so very good. You get to actually choose. I was wondering that if maybe they provided someone for you, but no, you choose, which makes sense because I know a lot of kids like yourself, right? They've got either mom, dad, like you said, grandpa, like helping out. So it's got to be kind of fun to have family with you to kind of help you out. Who's the better caddy, grandpa or mom?
This is a hard one. I don't want to be too
Yeah,
mean
it
on
is.
mom.
Yeah, you don't want to throw any shade at grandpa or mom. But let me do this. I'll rephrase that. What are the things that you like about grandpa being your caddy?
Well, he plays golf. My mom doesn't play golf. He knows about it, and when it's a big difference between when me and him are playing on the course. He's like, we're making jokes and we're really trying to beat each other. And then when I'm playing on the course and he's caddying me, he's super nice, super serious, and he's trying to help me out. And my mom, she doesn't play golf, but she's a pretty good caddy because she keeps me calm, and she's my mom. She knows everything about me.
That's it. So you kind of you kind of get the best of both worlds. So that's very good. Okay, so your first ever first place finish. Do you remember it? A tournament that you've won? Does that come to mind like right away?
Yeah, it was Bing Maloney. It was at Bing Maloney.
Okay, Bing Maloney. And how many more first place finishes do you have? I know you finished in the top 3 quite a bit, but yeah, go ahead.
That one at Bing Maloney, it wasn't too easy. It was a playoff between me and the other kid. We both shot even par, and we had to do a playoff. Luckily, I won the playoff, and
okay.
Yes.
Take me through that. I mean, was the playoff, was it a one hole or was it a...
It was a one hole.
One hole. Okay, so take me through it. Like, what happened?
It wasn't his best hole. I played normal. He played a little bit bad, but
okay.
I got it. But
okay, he got aggressive and he paid for it, and you stayed right down the middle, right?
Yes.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, so Stevie Maita is with us. So again, we're talking golf with 11-year-old that is just having a lot of fun, and I was able to catch him just on Instagram. It was crazy, and he's got his own handle. It's called Stevie Maita Golf, which is STEVEN MAITA Golf, and it's cool. Follow him because what he's doing, it looks like, Stevie, you're using the Instagram to be able to kind of tell your story, right? So there's a picture of you, and then you're saying, this is the tournament I played, maybe a highlight or two or whatever. So it looks like that's the way you're going, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and I imagine Mom's in charge of that, yes?
Yes, she's in charge of it all.
Of course. I love it. Okay, well, we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the current day of Stevie Maita, and I also want to talk about education, right? So he right now is being homeschooled, and there are athletes like Stevie that have gone this course, and obviously when we had COVID, a lot of kids started going homeschool. I just kind of want to see what that's like for Stevie and how he's enjoying that with being able to balance that and also his career, and it is a career right now. He's loving it as a golfer. So don't go anywhere. More to come with Stevie Maita right here on Experience the Buzz. All right, first segment in the books. Now time to thank our sponsors, R5 Stitch and Print, along with Pit Boss Jerky and Little Whale Swim School. What's great about these 3 amazing small businesses is part of the package is we bring you on. We tell your story. So we've done that with Troy Rousey. He's in episode 25. Joe Green of Pit Boss Jerky in episode 26. And Anya Hall, her story is told in episode 6. R5 Stitch and Print, they specialize in screen printing and embroidery. You can find them at r5print.com. Pit Boss Jerky, led by Joe Green. They got 12 amazing flavors. Believe it or not, we have a flavor named after the program. That's right. It's the 12th and last flavor called Experience the Buzz. Also in there are the popular flavors of Island Teriyaki, Raspberry, Apple, Chipotle. Then you've got the original 6, Pepper Garlic, Pit Boss Original, Sweet Summer, Honey Gold, Sweet and Smoky, and Little Heat. How do you get your hands on the beef jerky? Well, there's 2 ways. You can call the order board, which, by the way, is the cell phone number of Joe Green. It's 916-769-6807, or you can find it in person at any of the 3 locations of Amy Hardware, 2 in Sacramento, 1 in El Dorado Hills, or you can find it at Knee Deep Brewery, which is located in Auburn. And finally, Little Whale Swim School, which is the premier swim school here in Sacramento. They are located at 4106 El Camino Avenue in Sacramento. You can find them at littlewhaleswim.com. You can get ready for swim team there. They've got classes for all ages. They're known for the little ones with the swim lessons, but there's adult classes as well. And lastly, if you're looking for a summer job, don't look any further than Little Whale Swim School. So there you go, the big 3 right here as sponsors on Experience the Buzz. Now let's get back to our conversation with Stevie Maita.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss an episode of Experience the Buzz by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. It means everything. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back in. It is Experience the Buzz. My name is Steve Buzzard. I'm with another Steve, but he's Stevie. It's Stevie Maita. And again, our connection was Stevie and his sisters were students of mine when I was at St. Michael's. And it's so cool to see Stevie and what he's doing now. Again, 3rd year playing, I'm just going to say it almost feels like professional golf. Can you share with everybody how many tournaments you played last year? Your mom told me the number, and I was like, holy cow. How many tournaments?
I don't remember them all. I play US Kids. There's there's San Diego tournaments. There's U.S. Kids Golf. There's Future Champions. There's JGANC. There's a lot of different tournaments. The ones I mostly remember, but I'm pretty sure my mom just wrote it down on a piece of paper. 41.
Yes, she did.
I played 41 last year.
Yeah, 41. That's right. That was the number she shared with me. I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, just being able to play that much golf, but in a tournament setting. So, we talked a little bit about these tournaments and everything and kind of what, your itinerary is of, flying there, getting a practice round in, being able to have grandpa or mom as your, your caddy. And then, of course, you play the 2 rounds and then you come back and it all starts over, right? And so, for you, like the education piece, you're being homeschooled. I have to ask you because, having been your teacher for a couple years, do you like being homeschooled? How is that?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
It's pretty nice. The schools are a little shorter. The only teacher is my mom, and I also have a tutor, so he's kind of my math teacher.
Well, that's funny because I talked with your mom, and she says I do everything but math. So, yeah, that's where the tutor came in. It's like, yeah, defer to the experts and stuff. So that's cool. Okay, so what's that look like? So right now, we're here on a Tuesday, and do you get how much work do you get in? What does the day look like when it comes to being homeschooled?
Well, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30, I have my math tutor named Robert, and we do that till 9:30. Usually, then I do history, science, and I also have this it's vocab and history.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah. So you're hitting all the just kind of the major things that you do. Same thing as you would do at school, which would be cool. Okay, so you do that Tuesday, Thursday. What about Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? What's that look like?
The only thing different is I don't do the math.
Okay.
Well,
okay. So
I do the math, but I don't. I have 2 different books of math. One I do with my math tutor. The other one I do by myself.
Okay, very good. So you are doing school 5 days a week, correct, Stevie?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So tell me where the golf fits in. How much golf do you do during the week and probably on the weekend if it's not tournament?
Well, usually we do school first, or we do school last, or we do a little bit of school and then. So I would say most of the times on Tuesdays and Thursdays I would have my math tutor, and then we would go to my lesson, and then I would probably go to Del Paso, my home course, and play a couple of holes and do the range. And then and if I didn't finish my schoolwork earlier, I would finish it after that.
Okay, and how many, do you play rounds during the week? Do you go out and play, I don't know, do you play 18? Do you play 9? How's that look?
Well, I play 9, but when I'm with my grandpa, we usually play 18, and a little bit of range. It's just the difference. With my mom, we do a lot of range, 9 holes. With my grandpa, we do a little bit of range, 18 holes.
Okay, good. So what I'm getting here is you got this cool balance, and I've always been big no matter what I do, and especially seeing kids like yourself, and the passion for teaching is just watching kids being good human beings, right? And here you are, you're learning about how to balance your life, right? Even as an 11-year-old. What are the big things that you have learned with, doing the golf thing and now doing the homeschool thing? What are some of the big things that you've learned?
A little bit of responsibility. I have to make do more chores around the house probably because I'm not at school all day. And
that's the downside of homeschooling.
And I would say, just a little more chores, and
okay.
I have a personal trainer.
Okay. Wow. Really? Okay. That's cool. Personal trainer. So how many times a week is that?
Once or twice.
Okay, just once. Okay. So you're fitting all these things in, doing your thing, balancing your life. And so let's get back to, playing in these tournaments. It's kind of interesting because as I was going through your Instagram, I was just looking at people just commenting hey, way to go, Stevie, congratulations, emoji. And I came across one kid, and I don't know if you know him personally, but his name's Kai. Does this sound familiar? This is a kid. I think so. I went to his Instagram, and it's like, whoa! I mean, this kid's done a lot. And I saw one post. The kid's got 10 aces.
Yes.
Is this a kid that you know and that you've met on tour?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So tell me about other kids. Like, what are other kids like? That you meet on tour?
It's fun because I meet a lot of them per tournament, and most of the times we become good friends, and then sometimes after that we do practice rounds together, and we play together at our home courses.
Okay, and so I'm curious of what the competition is like. It's kind of interesting because the affiliation that you're with, they're actually aligned with what's called the Positive Coaching Alliance. That's something you may not know, but I know very well. And that's, the sportsmanship and everything. So, and golf is that, right? It's about etiquette. It's about sportsmanship and everything. When you're playing against someone, because I imagine, do you go in twos? Is it?
Usually we go in freeze, but if we're it's usually a twosome. If we're tied for the lead or this first and second place, it's usually a twosome.
Okay. So, talk about that. Let's say you're on the side of you're not having a good day and the other person's doing well. Or flip-flop. You're having a great day and the other person's not doing well. I mean, do you still, show good sportsmanship? I imagine it's a yes, but what's that like?
Yes. I still show good sportsmanship, but secretly I'm pretty sad inside. But when it's the opposite, I don't really pay attention to him. I usually you
just keep focused on your own. Okay, that's good to know. And so as I was saying the word, I think this is a big one because when you get into golf is the only sport where etiquette is huge. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about that because, if I go play golf with the average Joe, there are some people that don't know things about golf. Like, I imagine Grandpa was pretty significant in teaching you all the etiquette of golf, right?
Yeah, but I'm usually mostly learn some from playing the tournaments and watching golf on TV. Yeah, you have to rake the sands, sand your divot after, make sure you clean up your pitch mark, and just don't make a mess on the course.
Yeah, don't make a mess on the course. And the other thing, too, is you have to play a ball where it lies, depending on where it's – you can't cheat, right? You can't be like – and listen, there are people that will bump the ball, right? But when you're in the tournament, right, you can't be bumping the ball and cheating, right?
Nope.
No cheating. No cheating. Oh, my gosh. Okay, are there any other etiquette things that we need to share with the audience there that you think are important?
Yeah, you have to take off your hat if you're playing with other people. When you finish 18 or 9, you have to take off your hat, shake their hand, and if you're playing with someone else at the first tee, you should probably take off your hat and shake the hand as well.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you shared that. Okay, because that is so true about when it comes to golf. So let's now talk about. I'm still over the Kai guy's got 10 hole-in-ones. So I guess that leads to the question, do you have a hole-in-one yet?
2.
What? You're kidding me.
No.
You got 2 hole-in-ones?
Yes.
Okay, take me through. Tell me the stories. Let's go.
One of them was I was playing with my coach, and and I just hit a good shot and went in. And me and him both went crazy because that was my first hole-in-one.
Okay, where was that at? You always got to know.
It was at Hagen Oaks.
Okay, what hole?
Actually, it was on one of the practice holes.
Okay, cool. All right, that's the first one. Second one?
The second one was in Palm Springs. It was at this course called the Weston.
Okay.
It was, I'm pretty sure it was on hole number 7 or 8.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And it was a shorter one, but I saw it and it looked like it just hit the pin, and I think I barely knew it went in, and my grandpa didn't think it went in, and it went in.
That's so cool. And what was that feeling like?
It was super good, and if you make a hole in one, usually at the course, they give you like a free golf ball with the course on it, or a free ball marker. And I
Nice.
got a golf ball and a
Okay.
ball marker.
And you understand that, like, when you become an adult, if you get a hole in one, you know what happens there, right?
Yeah, you have to buy everyone drinks.
You knew it. You knew it. I didn't even have to tell you. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm here to tell you I don't have a hole in one, and I don't know if I'll ever get one. But it's so funny with golf, right? Because there are people that have played the game for a super long time that have never had it, like myself. And then you, and then this kid Kai, who's got like 10 aces. I mean, my goodness. Yeah, again, just a great feeling. And that's what I love about golf. Is like golf is like, man, you talk about, yes, it's physical, but it's a very mental game, is it not?
Yes, it is. You gotta make sure I'm not too good at this, but I'm getting better. After a bad hole, you gotta keep calm, and you can't get too angry or a bad shot. And if you can't get too excited if you get a birdie or an eagle or anything good.
But do you do some fist pumps when you do a good shot? Come on.
Usually if I make a putt, I'll do a fist
Yeah.
bump.
Yeah, you do fist pump, right?
Yes.
Because you're watching the PGA Tour. You kind of want that moment and everything. So it's cool because I understand you've met some pretty cool people here locally. I think Gary Player and Lee Trevino are a couple
I've
that
met-
you... Yeah.
Gary Player, Lee Trevino, and Kevin Sutherland goes to the same course that I practice at. We haven't like totally met, but he said my swing was good and said hi to me. So
Okay, very good. Well, you know what? I will tell you this. Kevin is probably one of the nicest guys in Sacramento. I'm sure if Mom reached out to him, he would gladly meet with you and probably do a little range work with you.
Grandpa is trying to reach out to him so we can play an 18 with him.
Of course, yes, yes. And here's the deal. He'll do it. Kevin will do it. And you know what's cool is that, and I don't know if you remember his son, Keaton, because Keaton went to St. Michael's. Do you remember Keaton?
18. Yeah, he also goes to Del Paso. I see him there a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I recently just got to play with Kevin and Keaton, and I had not seen Keaton since he graduated from St. Michael's. So it's been a while, so that was pretty cool. And obviously he's doing well. And then Kevin has a brother named David who's a really good golfer, and David's son plays golf. So I think that meetup is definitely going to happen for you. So let's switch over to, the PGA Tour. Like, who are the players that you like? Like, who are the players on tour that Stevie kind of, says, man, that's my guy.
Tiger Woods, Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy.
Nice.
My grandpa loves Will Zalatoris.
Okay.
Jordan Spieth, and Tony Finau.
Okay. And as you know, there are tournaments that happen around here. I know the Tahoe tournament and stuff, although that's not PGA Tour. Have you ever had the chance to go to a PGA Tour event?
Yeah, I went to the American Express last year.
Okay.
It was super, super cool.
Okay. So when you look at that, you're obviously there as a fan, but, I know you're 11, but are you, like, in your mind, how long do you think you're going to do this? Is this something you want to do long term?
Oh, yes. I'm trying to be a pro. I'm going to try as hard as I can.
Okay, I love that. I absolutely love that. So again, reset Stevie Maita, 11 years old, playing golf. He's on, we'll call it the tour and stuff, and he's going back to the championships that will be played in North Carolina at Pinehurst, and that's going to be in August. So let's talk about preparation for that, because I understand you're playing a couple tournaments now. What's the preparation leading into August for those championships?
Some good range time, play lots of holes I do have my coach. We do lots of range sessions, and I did get new irons, so I'm trying to fit into
let's
those
go.
before I do all the big tournaments.
Okay. So I wanted to ask that too, because when you play golf, you got to look good, right? You got to dress well. That's a big thing. And then of course your clubs. So I'm sure everybody wants to know, what do you play with?
Titleist.
Titleist.
I play with Titleist balls. All Titleist clubs except for my putter is it's a Odyssey. It's an Odyssey.
Odyssey. Okay. Nice. And I'm just curious, are you sponsor? Do you have any sponsors at all?
Um,
Can't. Can't really do that, right?
Titleist, they sent me a pack of balls and a couple of hats.
Okay. And I think it's because of your age that they can't do that. But that will come later. Right? But I know you've had the opportunity to visit like their headquarters, right? I think I saw a post where you got to visit their headquarters and try out some things. Talk about that experience. That probably was pretty fun.
Yeah, I got to do that to Club Fit. They got to fit me for the first time. I got new wedges, and I went through everything. I got new woods, new driver, and I got new irons.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so we are going to take our final break, and when we come back, we're just going to kind of wrap things up here with Stevie. I got some other quick golf questions for him, but hopefully you've enjoyed this conversation as much as I've had. It's really good to visit with this young man right here, growing up right in front of my eyes at 11 years of age. So don't go anywhere. Back with the final segment right here on Experience the Buzz. All right, isn't he good? 11 years old. Stevie Maita handling his first podcast. No problem. All right, we got another break before our final segment. So again, we want to thank our sponsors, Little Whale Swim School, along with Pit Boss Jerky and R5 Stitch and Print. Little Whale Swim School, you can find them at 4106 El Camino Avenue right here in Sacramento. They are the premier swim school in Sacramento. On the web, littlewhaleswim.com, or you can call 916-790-5945. They got beautiful indoor facilities, so that means you're going to have a nice heated pool. Also, if you're looking for a summertime job, don't look any further. You can get in touch with owner Anya Hall, again at that number, 916-790-5945. Pit Boss Jerky, they've been with us since day one. Joe Green told his story in episode number 26. This guy is the mad scientist of beef jerky. Came across it the first time a couple years ago when we started this program, and then he became a sponsor. And guess what? I get a lifetime supply of Pit Boss Jerky, and boy, am I satisfied. We've got a flavor that is named after the program. That is called Experience the Buzz. Before that, my favorite was raspberry apple chipotle. I know a lot of people love the island teriyaki because it's got that little sweet taste to it. They've got herb and smoke, big heat. They even have a keto mix along with the original 6. Again, those are little heat, sweet and smoky, honey gold, sweet summer, Pit Boss original, and pepper garlic. Now, how do you get your hands on them? Well, you can go to any hardware at any of their 3 locations, 2 in Sacramento, 1 in El Dorado Hills, or you can find them at Knee Deep Brewery in Auburn, or you can get on the order board, 916-769-6807. Finally, want to thank R5 Stitch and Print. Owner Troy Rousey does a great job. He's done a lot of work here. Yeah, you looking, let's see, do I have stuff on that's, well, anyways, I've done a lot of work with R5 Stitch and Print. You can find them at r5print.com. They specialize in screen printing and embroidery. Best part, they have a graphic design artist that is in-house, so they can help you put together a portfolio, virtual mock-up, so you can get a visual of what it is that you want to get. And believe me, you name it, it can be done by R5 Stitch and Print. Again, R5print.com. Now, for the final segment with Stevie Maita, the 11-year-old golfer, once my student in PE at St. Michael's. Good stuff. Let's get back to it.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss an episode of Experience the Buzz by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. It means everything. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. We are with Stevie Maita. It is episode number 114. And yes, Stevie breaking records today because he is the youngest person to be on the program. We had Ian McVicker. You may remember him, I think, in year 1. He made the masks. That was pretty cool. We had a great discussion. And then 16-year-old Justin Walter, who's a blues guitarist and everything. But here we got Stevie, and his love is golf. And he said, you heard in the last segment, he wants to be pro, and he's been kind enough to share his time with us and also kind of take us through the process. So, another part of this, Stevie, is that, you got your sisters, and we haven't even mentioned them. But what is it like for your sisters to see like what you're doing? I know they have their own things that they're doing. Your older sister is in high school. She's at Country Day. So there's a lot of things going on. Stuff. How do the sisters take it?
To tell you the truth, they don't really care.
They don't really care. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
But they do go on trips with you, right? So I know a lot of times you made it, a family affair, which is cool. So not only do you have mom and grandpa, but the sisters sometimes come along for the ride.
Yes, and my little sister plays golf as well.
Ooh, so should we be watching out for her too?
Well, she doesn't play too often. I wouldn't say looking too hard, but she's kind of good. She's pretty
good. She maybe doesn't have the same drive right now as you have because she's 8, right? Or right in that range?
Yeah, she doesn't play as much as me. I'd say she only goes to the range one time a week, maybe plays a couple holes. And she's pretty good. She can hit a drive, but she can't chip, she can't putt, and her iron game is sometimes on and sometimes off.
Okay, very good. So, playing as an 11-year-old, I am curious, like, tees are moved up, right? Like, do you play... You don't play like the white tees or whatever. How does that work when they place the tees for the tournaments you play?
Well, usually I play a little longer than the tournament tees, so I can get, a year up. And then the tournaments, the tees that they do they're pretty short. At least most of them. They're longer. The bigger the tournament, the longer the yardages are.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like for you, like, par 5s are they 500 yards or are they like the high 400s for you? How does that work?
High 400s.
Okay,
high
400s.
476, 490.
Yeah, so when you go out to Ansel Hoffman, like what tees do you play when you're out there?
Blacks and whites.
Oh wow. Okay, blacks and whites. Okay, big deal. So I have to ask you, like, what do you drive off the tee? What's your yardage?
200 to 220. If I really let one rip, it's like 230 to 240.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And is there like any tips you could give, the average Joe golfer here when it, comes to being a better golfer?
Just good tempo, keep your head down, and I would say, good tempo and keep your head down. Okay,
very good. And on chipping and putting, what wisdom would you give me there? What things do I need to look for so I can be better?
I would. You have to on putting. You would keep your. I would keep your swing path a little bit more straighter. And for chipping, I like to make sure you hit it clean. Just
hit it clean.
Just make sure you hit it clean.
Yep, absolutely. And I was not doing that yesterday. I'm telling you, Ansel Hoffman, it's a beast. It's a beast out there. Okay, so let's get into a little rapid fire segment. So I'm just going to ask you like some fun questions. You've mentioned the hole-in-ones, some of the tour players that you love and stuff. But let's what is your like favorite golf moment? Like one you can recall that just kind of sticks out in your head. Like wow, that was cool.
I was at Chambers Bay, and I have a caddy there named Caddy Steve, and it was a state for Washington, and I played it, and the first round I shot a 69, wow. And so that was a big moment, and the second round I shot a 74, but I still won.
Okay, yeah, but I mean that's a big deal for like you going sub 70s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And what's your lowest score?
What?
Was it that probably, 69?
I shot if you're talking 9 holes, it was a 32.
Okay.
If you're talking 18, it's a 69.
Okay, 69 is your best score. Great. Okay, so we mentioned like players that you like and some that you've met so far and stuff. If there was one PGA Tour that you could get an invitation to, sit down, maybe have lunch, and go play 18 with, who would be that one PGA Tour player?
Probably Justin Thomas.
Interesting. Okay, and why do you like Justin Thomas? What is it about him that you like?
He plays with Titleist, and I think he's just like one of my favorite players, and I like how he plays. And
Yeah, he's no nonsense, right? And he's had a lot of success. Do you watch golf on TV?
Yes.
Okay. Do you watch tournaments?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you watch it all the way through, or do you watch the final round? What is it for you?
I watch every round. I wouldn't watch the whole thing because but I do watch a little bit of each round, and I look at the score on the leaderboard.
Okay. Cool. Now you notice I'm wearing this hat. Good. Are you familiar with these guys?
Yes, I've watched them a couple times. A lot.
Okay. Do you like them?
Yes.
Yeah, they get fired up. Is that something where you're like, I could do that. I could do that with some of my friends.
I don't know if I could do that with some of my friends.
Okay. Yeah, you're a little bit more serious.
It sounds really fun though.
Yeah, it looks fun. I love when they have like a great shot, right? And they run down the hole and stuff and just get all hypey and stuff.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so friends here, like when you go play golf with friends, what's that like? Because obviously you're a little bit better than everybody else. What does that look like when you go play with friends?
I don't play with too many friends because
Okay.
I don't have any really except I play with I played with Elijah yesterday.
Okay,
That was
nice.
fun.
Nice.
And then sometimes I have 3 friends they're a little bit far away, like 30 minutes, but we play. I've played with them 2 to 3 times at my home course.
Okay, and then the last part, like we mentioned the part of like looking nice, right? Like when you dress up, do you like getting your gear on and stuff and getting ready to play tournament golf?
Yes.
Or does it feel like going to church, like you're too dressed up?
It doesn't feel like I'm too dressed up.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so, we've come to the end of what's been a very fun conversation. Do you have any great memories that you'd like to share with everybody about Mr. Buzzard as your PE coach?
Yes. That was super fun when we played the Halloween game around Halloween.
Let's go. Trick or treat, or not trick or treat, haunted house.
Yes, and Buzzard Ball was super fun with all the bands that you get from doing Yeah,
that's good stuff. Yeah, Stevie, I just want to say, I know you're just 11, but this is cool. You have to understand when you do what I do, being a teacher for as long as I have, this is the fun part of life as a teacher, is being able to see a journey that you're on, and obviously I am going to follow you to the end. And you know what will be fun is when, not if, when you become pro, we'll look back at this and say, wow, we talked when you were 11 years old. Wouldn't that be cool?
yes.
Okay, great job. Okay, so, aspirations of getting out there, obviously playing high school golf and everything, you're just going to continue this journey. Is there anything that you need to share with us that we need to know about in terms of what you're going to be doing with golf, or is it just kind of everything that we talked about?
Well, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do high school golf.
Okay. And that's an option, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, they're very good. Okay, so it looks like you've got the plan in place. So again, I'll just follow you on Instagram, see how things are going and stuff, and definitely reach out to Kevin. Make that happen, because I guarantee, in fact, I'm going to send the number to your mom so that you can make that happen, because that'll be fun. And the thing about Kevin that I've noticed, like I said, outside of just being the nicest person ever, it is pretty amazing to watch him play golf, because he's very effortless in what he's doing. And you know what I mean when I say that, Stevie, right? It is fun to watch players where you're like, man, it doesn't even look like they're trying.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Okay. There he is. It is Stevie Maita. He has done it. How's it feel to have done your first podcast?
Oh, it feels amazing. I was shivering most of the time, but it was pretty fun.
You did great. Well, you can't tell because it's just your body and stuff. So if the rest of your body is shivering, that is A-okay. We're going to take a break, and I'll come back with a final word. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Good stuff. And good luck to this young man, Stevie Maita, right here on Experience the Buzz.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss an episode of Experience the Buzz by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. It means everything. Now, back to the show.
All right, there you have it. What a great conversation, fun conversation. 11 years old, first podcast in the books. Yes, we're going to be looking back in the archives saying, I knew him when, right? Yeah, I think this kid, I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to do it. It looks like he's definitely got the kind of the fortitude to make it happen. Of course, it'll be a journey for him and stuff, but we wish him nothing but good luck as he pursues being a professional on the PGA Tour. Let's go. Why not? Dream big. I love it. So that will do it for another episode of Experience the Buzz. I know it's at the tail end, but I'm just going to, again, I'm going to say thank you. You guys are tremendous out there that are listening. I feel like we've become kind of hopefully a household name when it comes to Sacramento and the personalities of Sacramento. And we're just going to keep doing these conversations. I love being able to have the opportunity to talk to so many different people and just tell their stories. And then hopefully as you listen, there's something within that story that will help spark something for you. And again, we've covered all gamuts. And again, I know there's much more that we're going to be covering in the near future. So with that, that's all I got for now. Talk to you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you for joining Steve this week on Experience the Buzz. Steve would love to hear from you. Leave a review or contact Steve directly with any questions at scbuzzard@gmail.com. To see the other adventures of Steve Buzzard, be sure to visit buzzardball.com.